Welcome back for another video. Double game week season's upon us. We've got 2 in a row coming up now. Who are the best players that we should be buying this week? We're going to break it down nice and simple by position, plus we'll take a look at the assistant managers as well. So a quick recap of the double game weeks. Up next it's Crystal Palace and Newcastle doubling. Palace have got Man City away and then they're away to Newcastle, 2 away games. Newcastle on the other hand have got 2 home games against Man United and Crystal Palace. That's followed immediately by double game week 33. Arsenal will have Ipswich away, Palace home. Villa will be home to Newcastle, then away to Man City. Palace will be home to Bournemouth and then away Arsenal. And lastly, Man City are away to Everton and then home to Villa. Newcastle don't double in game week 33. It's just Palace that has 2 doubles in a row. So the 4 teams that double in game week 33 immediately blank in game week 34. So if your free hits used, then you need to pay particular attention to that blank game week and ensure that you're not leaving yourself too light in the blank. After all, if you gain a fixture in 33 and then lose one in 34, then you haven't really gained anything at all if it means you can no longer field 11 players. So, goalkeepers first. Pope and Henderson are obviously your top 2 keepers this week with 7.3 and 6.4 projected points. It's obviously a far better double game week for Newcastle. They're both home games, while Palace are playing away twice, including against Man City. The appeal with the Newcastle assets isn't just a decent double game week. If you've used your free hit, then the other appeal there is in game week 34 you get Ipswich home at them as well. Palace have got an extra fixture in game week 33, one fewer in game week 34 of course since they blank. So yeah, Pope and Henderson are actually neck and neck for projected points over the next 5. Palace has got arguably stronger outfield picks though. Like Munoz is way better than any Newcastle defender. Plus you've got Eze, Sarr and Mateta. So if you've got a choice to make between these 2, then Pope looks better and then you triple up on Palace outfield if you can. Verbruggen's 3rd this week with 4.2 points, home to Leicester, who of course are really struggling for goals this season. In fact, they're over 4 expected goals worse than Southampton this season even, worse than any team. Brighton will be without Van Heck though after that red card last game week. Although we won't be seeing Gabriel again this season, there's still a lot to like about Arsenal's fixtures. Like Brentford home, I guess that could prove a challenging one, especially since it's sandwiched between 2 Champions League games against Real Madrid. But that double game week of Ipswich and Palace could have a couple of clean sheets in there if we're lucky. Even one across 2 games would be a decent return. So let's move on to the defenders next. Given the strength of Newcastle's double versus Palace's, it is Livramento, Trippier, Schär and Burn the top 4 picks. Trippier first actually. Munoz a bit further down, he's on 4.6 projected points. So Trippier leads with 8.2. This is the thing with Munoz though, he's one of the most attacking defenders in the league. 6.6 expected goal involvement is 3rd highest after Trent and Vardy. None of the Newcastle defenders even come close. Well, Hall's on 4.2 but he's out for the season obviously. You're going to be probably hoping for attacking returns more often than not in these next couple of game weeks due to low clean sheet potential. I mean especially against Man City when Guehi's suspended, maybe some other players out as well. Richards we'll have to see. If you're really tight for budget, Dunk's only 4.2 mil and he's on 4.8 projected points this week against Leicester. So Saliba a bit further down makes the table 4.1 points, Vardyol's on 4.0. There's something that you might have missed with Saliba and Vardyol. So in Arsenal's case, Lewis Skelly's a midfielder in FPL and he's playing left back. And in Man City's case, Pep's been using O'Reilly left back and Nunez right back and their midfielders playing in full back. So this means when they keep clean sheets, they're significantly likelier to bag you some bonus points, especially in those games where the keeper's making a few saves, which is often the case with Ederson and Raya. I mean, using the Manchester derby as an example, Nunez and O'Reilly started in fullback. Vardyol came away with maximum bonus points, 9-pointer. Ederson made just 2 saves, and he was absolutely nowhere near even 1 bonus point. It's sort of a hidden buff for these picks currently. Let's have a look at the midfielders next. So your top player this week is Eze with 7.8 points, 2 assists and a bonus point last match. 7.8 puts him just ahead of Salah and Palmer, who are actually 2nd and 3rd for really good single game week fixtures. Chelsea got Ipswich home, Liverpool got West Ham home. So as far as the other doublers, Murphy's on 7.3, Sarr 7.2 and Gordon also 7.2. I wouldn't bother with the likes of Bruno Guimaraes or Tonali. It's worth noting that that yellow flag on Gordon does affect his projections. If I remove the flag, that actually puts him top of all midfielders on 8.4 points. So yeah, don't sleep on Gordon as a pick. The question is he worth the 2.3 million over Murphy? If you've got the flexibility to go for either one, it doesn't affect any moves you might want to make later, then Gordon's such a huge differential. He's arguably a bit more of a rotation risk than Murphy as well, because Barnes is probably likely to come in at left wing if anything. I mean, Gordon, of course, just back from injury as well, so that's a factor. It was an unforgiving weekend of FPL, wasn't it, with Saka, Foden and Palmer all coming away with 1-pointers. I mean, Saka in particular, someone that a huge number of managers are looking to buy in Gameweek 33 that don't own him already. This week he's on 6 projected points with an estimated 79 minutes. I mean, that could be a bit generous, to be honest. Arteta might look to manage his minutes again around those Champions League legs. The lineup against Everton basically showed us that he's more or less accepted defeat in the league title, and Champions League's the priority now. So let us know in the comments, Eze or Sarr, if you had to pick one, who are you going for? So let's take a look at those forwards next. I mean, it's not even close this week. Isak's on 10.9 points, so that's at least 3 more than any other player. So perhaps not a week to get clever with captaincy when it's so one-sided. I mean, Isak will definitely be my captain. Haaland's the only striker with a higher expected goals this season. Though Watkins and Mateta being fairly high up here is pretty encouraging, with Mateta doubling the next 2 weeks in a row, and obviously Watkins at 33. Mateta is second on the table, 7.5 projected points. Now Nketiah picked up 2 yellows last match, so he's suspended for the first of the double, so that will help Mateta's minutes a lot. We want our players on the pitch as long as possible, because the longer they're on the pitch, the likelier they are to get us a return basically. So we might see 90 minutes first match, could be 60 or so second match if we're lucky. Those of you that are tripled up on Palace and Newcastle, what's your triple up? Is it Isak, Murphy and a defender, or have you got Pope in there? Are you triple Palace attack, or have you got one defender, or even Henderson? Looking a bit elsewhere on the table, João Pedro is an interesting one. He should be in line for a start after that benching last match, but he's potentially carrying a minor injury as his leg was strapped up. Given Ratter's injury, really expected him to be starting most, if not all games. Again, going back to the point earlier about the blank Gameweek 34, if you've used your free hit, then you need to be looking at these sorts of players. They've got West Ham home in 34, so the likes of João Pedro, maybe Dunk or Verbruggen can get you through that week. Leicester home as well puts him 4th on the table, just behind Marmoush. So Cunha's done serving his suspension, he's available for selection now. He's on 5.1 points, comes straight back into the table. Same projections as Evan Nilsson actually, off the back of that 13-pointer last match. Cunha and Stratton Larson actually good examples again of players that will get you through 34 if you've used your free hit. They've got Leicester home that game week, and this week they've got Spurs home, who of course look to be prioritised in Europe as well. So, quick look at the assistant managers then. Some huge scores projected here for Howe and Glasner, which really does underline just how insanely powerful the chip can be. Isak, he cost you 9.5 mil, he was projected 10.9 points. Then you've got Howe, who's 1.5 mil, projected 13.1, and Glasner's on 12.0. So yeah, looking at the next two specifically, Glasner obviously comes out on top due to the extra fixture, and it does save you a transfer if you go for him this week. But yeah, a potentially more volatile pick. There is that table bonus potential against City and Arsenal, plus Newcastle, assuming that they beat Leicester at the time of recording, that match still to be played. The only scenario where I wouldn't be buying one of Howard Glasner this week is if you're already tripled up on them, and if you're not tripled up on someone that doubles in 33. For example, Arteta has 21.9 projected points for the next 2 game weeks, 21.9. Only Glasner's got more of 22.8, so not much difference. Guardiola 20.4, Howe 17.4. So you could just go for one of those even though they've got a single this week. Let us know in the comments what your transfer plans are for the double. There's a link in the description to install the FPL Focal app as well to get all those free tools. See you soon for the next video.